Alright, so what's going on, y'all? Back with another one, and I come bringing a clip from the Fighter and the Kid podcast, and it's of Bryan Callen actually taking responsibility and apologizing to Bobby Lee for apparently he was the one that bullied him and threatened his career. You know, when Bobby Lee was on the H3 podcast, he said that one of Brendan Schaub's friends called him and was threatening him and made him feel very, it just made him feel very bad about something that he didn't even know what was going on. And according to Bryan Callen, he says that this actually had nothing to do with the whole Brendan and Kalyla walking into the truck beef. This actually has something to do with so I guess some online Reddit account that have been threatening Brendan Schaub and his family, and they've had some very, I guess, horrible things posted on there. Apparently, according to Brendan Schaub, he's gonna see in his clip, they posted like some father beating his autistic kid. And for those of you who know, I think Brendan Schaub's son suffered for some autism. I don't know if he got over it or something, but he suffered from some autism when he was a kid. So I could understand how posting shit like that will get to you. Like, so apparently Bryan Callen found out about this Reddit page that's been going on for 5-6 years plus, and there was some evidence that it leads back to the Tiger Belly hub, the Tiger Belly Studios. And Kalyla and Bobby both were very adamant that they don't know nothing about that, and it's kind of obvious. It's believable. Like, they're two successful adults. Like, I doubt that they'll, somebody obviously has the time to go do it, but I don't think it's them two. And like they say in this clip, it might not be them, but it could be somebody from their crew that maybe thought they were fighting on Bobby and Kalyla's behalf. Like, they didn't like Brendan because Brendan had hit on Kalyla back in the days. So they've been coming at him for the past 6 years. I don't know. But we're going to let Bryan and Brendan speak for themselves. So let's get into it. All right, just so y'all know, this is about to be like a 22-minute clip. So get comfortable, get your popcorn, get your bud, and let's get to it.
It's just the boys.
The original team's back together.
And this is a good way to start this, because I'm calling this podcast the Hammer of Truth. And I'm going to start this off by saying a couple of things.
Brian's serious.
Yeah, because I believe when the chaos hits, you tell the truth. I've always been honest with everybody, all the fans and everybody who listens. Bobby Lee is somebody I love very much.
We both do.
Yes, but people have been talking on. He went online and he went on and talked about somebody who spoke to him in a very rough, bullying manner. Okay, that wasn't anybody but me. I'm the guy. I'm the one who did it. Not Chris.
I'm gonna let this play, but
Not.
Hold on, y'all. I just want to say, I think it's hilarious. When I first watched this, I thought it was funny that Bryan is so mad. I guess he's mad at the reason why he came at Bobby like that. Maybe because the whole Reddit thing. But at first, I thought he was going to come at Bobby and talk some shit because he's coming so aggressive. But he is leading this to an apology. But I thought it was funny how hard, like how aggressive he was trying to come off with this apology.
Theo, not Sam. It was me. Yeah. Okay. And now here's the second thing I want to say. Bobby is 100% right in his anger at me, in how he felt, and I'm 100% wrong. I take full fucking responsibility for the way I spoke to him, which was wrong. There's no excuse, okay? And now I will give you. Now, having said that, let me say it again. And this is what I said to Bobby. Bobby,
when did you talk to him?
I spoke to Bobby. I tried to speak to him after you spoke to Kalyla. When I spoke to Bobby, I said to him on the phone, I believe you. And then I thought, I don't know Kalyla, I thought that she was, and let me just say this, and I'm gonna explain this, but I want to first own up to everything that I did. Because what I did at the end of the day, the way I spoke to Bobby, who is somebody I love, who didn't deserve the way nobody deserves to be just attacked. And I'm going to tell you where I was wrong, and I'm going to get specific. But let me start once again by saying, I'm the guy, okay? I take full responsibility. I was wrong. I said this to Bobby. I called him up, and Bobby read me the riot act. I think if he had been in front of me, he would have fucking punched me. And he's justified. And I said, Bobby, you're absolutely right. I apologize. I was wrong. And where I was wrong was this. I didn't give Bobby the benefit of the doubt. I didn't ask him first. I didn't really give him the respect to say, hey, dude, is what I'm seeing true? So let me get into that. This had nothing to do with you and the Kalyla thing. Nothing. This had. I don't get involved in that. I wasn't there. I don't get involved with any of that.
It just happened a lot.
There was something else. So I want to make.
Hold on, real quick. With the timeline, with the Kalyla stuff, and then what you're going to refer to, you're looking about 3 to 5 weeks.
Yes.
Difference.
I did not know.
Coincidence.
I did not know. You never talk about it, and this we're very close. But think about this. I didn't know that for 6 years you've been getting crazy, not just hate. There is a difference, guys, between hate, between making fun of somebody, and threats. Threats and harassment, long-term harassment and physical threats against somebody's family, interference in someone's business and trying to destroy someone's business. There is a very big difference between real physical and cyber threats and actual harassment, long-term harassment, and just hate and people making videos. That's all good.
Yeah,
that's all good, dude.
No, that's the internet.
That's the internet.
But what I deal with,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
I don't talk about it with anybody.
So what happens, guys, is when you have a legal matter, when it becomes actually physically dangerous, or at least that would be when I look at it, the amount of shit you take is actually dangerous.
Correct.
It's dangerous.
Correct.
There are people that are not, this is not satire. This is not hate. This is not a hater. This is not somebody being, funny, and it's out there. There's some funny hate out there. I look at it. But we're talking about actual illegal activity.
Correct.
So what you do in that situation after 6 years, when it gets crazy and scary, is you hire professional legal counsel and professionals to deal with this.
Can I say something?
Yes.
So obviously I don't talk about the negative stuff. You know me better than
anyone.
I would say anyone.
Your brother knows you better.
Maybe. You're up there.
Maybe.
But, I always look at life as the glass half full. Always. It's just my nature. And I know that stuff is out there. And I've always been privy to ignore it. Obviously, especially the way I look and having the careers that I've had, it's going to trigger people. And I get all that. I 100% get all that. And I'm sorry, I can't do anything about that. But then, it gets to a certain point, and when they step over the boundaries of criticism,
when it gets to your physical safety,
correct,
and your family's physical safety,
and that for sure. But then also going after my businesses, companies I'm associated with.
Yes.
Then you're talking about illegal activity. But then even with all that, I've never brought it up to you guys. Ever, man.
Look,
ever.
I've never heard about it. I didn't hear about it until it got so crazy that you had to talk about it.
But it got so crazy. And the way it works is, one of the reasons I'm at where I'm at, whether you think I'm successful or not, that's up for debate, is I surround myself with much smarter people. You, Mark, Kat, Jen, everybody in here is smarter than me. I'll give you that. That's fine. People outside of this that work and have this engine going, my career going, are much smarter than me, whether my business manager, my agents, my managers. I constantly surround myself with smarter people. I don't deal with any of that stuff. Being a stand-up comic, and you know this better than anybody, is so tough. It's so tough.
Never ends.
So my energy goes to that and my kids. That's it, man.
Yes.
For me to get notified that some illegal activity is going on and that I should do something about it, it has to be so bad. To the point so bad that this account got alerted
So let me
hold on.
Let me finish this because it's very important.
But let me say this too. I know I'm 6'4", 250 pounds, 255. I know I'm 255 pounds. I know I look like this stuff doesn't bother me. It hurts my feelings, man. It always has.
To say the least.
It always has.
To say the least.
I don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Nobody wants me to come on here and talk about, how my feelings are hurt, because that's not the masculine thing to do. But I'm telling you now, so all you guys know, it hurts my feelings more than you know. And that's why I'm not on social media. I didn't leave social media because you don't think I want to see my friends and family and other comics and peers post stuff and stuff like that. No, I love that stuff. I left because it was so toxic. It was so evil that I don't want to subscribe to anymore. And a lot of people can handle social media. God bless you, man. I wish I could. I'm too sensitive.
So hold that thought.
I know because I look like this, you guys think it's okay and doesn't bother me.
Yes.
It really hurts my feelings.
This is what happened. So when I saw the evidence, people who are professionals at this said there is long-term harassment and essentially, more than just hate coming from X, Y, Z. When I didn't make this stuff up. When I saw with my own eyes that some of that long-term X harassment was coming from the Tiger Belly hub, okay? And that's what I saw with my own eyes. When I saw that, I went into protection mode. I'm a very protective person. That's my brother. I might be too protective, and we're going to get into that too. I've been too protective probably. It's not my place to be protective, but I am. I'm a ride or die fucker. Now, so what I did was I went into protection mode. I saw red and I assumed the worst about Bobby and about Kalyla. After speaking to Bobby, I realized, I really believe that he has nothing to do with it. I don't think he even knows anything about it. I believe him. And I said that on the phone. I said, I believe you, Bobby.
And what I tell you, B, when I spoke,
and then
within the first
hold on, let me
5
do it.
minutes.
Let me handle it.
Go ahead.
Then you spoke to Kalyla, and you called me right away, and you said, dude, I believe her. I don't think Kalyla or Bobby have anything to do with this. So then what I did was I called Bobby. This is I don't know, a week ago, more than that, or 10 days ago. I called Bobby, he didn't answer. I called him the next day, he didn't answer, and I got it. I was like, he must be so pissed off at me. He must have been so pissed off because once again, let me say this. The way I spoke to Bobby is unacceptable. The way I spoke to Bobby, and he said something to me that I'll never forget. He said, I've been bullied by guys like you my whole life, and it stops now. I'm not a bully, but if he said that, he was fucking right. He was right. I own it. I was outside myself, and when you fuck up, and I fucked up like that, I'm going to take ownership, okay? It doesn't matter how angry I was. It doesn't matter that I was protecting him. It's like when I was thinking about this. Sometimes you don't get a pass. It's like a guy who beats his wife, and then you beat your wife, and the guy goes, I know, dude, but she makes me so angry. Not an excuse.
That's not right.
Not a fucking excuse.
But to be fair to yourself, I appreciate you owning me. I'm sure they appreciate it. But you've always defended me, and I've also always defended you.
Yes,
it's what we do.
It's what I do, dude. I go to the mat. We've been in situations, even physical situations, where there were a bunch of very dangerous people, and I was like, and
you were down.
I was down.
I wasn't down.
I know
you were.
They were real guys who you were afraid were going to fight you or come at you, and I said, hey, dude. I'm knee with you, motherfucker. Yeah. I'm not a tough guy, but I'm not leaving your side.
And I reciprocated that when you went through your shit.
So that's how it is.
That's what we do.
That's what we do.
Yes.
Okay. Doesn't mean I handled it right. I didn't. Once again, I'm going to say this to what I said to Bobby. Bobby, you are 100% right. I was 100% wrong. Okay.
Well put, B. But I also think it's fair to say.
So
I don't think we handled any of this right.
No. I was too upset. I was so upset. I said to him, I said, call me, buddy. Wanted to apologize. I said that April 29th, or 25th. Yeah, 28th. I'm old. I can't read. April 25th, 28th, I said, or 5th, I said, at 2:51, I said, call me, buddy. Wanted to apologize. Okay. And then I really am sorry. I said, then after that, I said, after we spoke, I said in my text, I really am sorry, Bobby. You're justified and I was wrong. No excuses. I love you and I wish you well. I'll also make it up to you one day if I can. You'll see. That's what I said. Those are my texts to Bobby.
You guys go back how many years?
I love him.
From Matt TV?
I love him.
How long?
I love him. And he didn't deserve it. And I have to live with that. I was being protective over you, and I saw red because I had been steeped and I had seen how horrible this stuff was. I'd seen the threats. I'd seen the physical, dangerous, the difference between hate and true harassment and violence. And I guess I went a little crazy.
But to be fair, again, I'm not condoning, and and obviously we both apologize the way you spoke to Bobby, but I think if anybody saw that kind of abuse and the negativity, and then for their team, I'm not saying Bobby and Kalyla, for them to be associated with it, I was so hurt. You don't understand.
I know that, because so was I.
Because I understand.
And I was so relieved when I believed him.
Believed it,
and
yeah.
Bobby and I spoke. I apologized, and he accepted my apology. But he also said, "I don't want to talk to you, dude." And
That's
and
fair.
I deserve it.
That's fair.
I hope someday I fucking hope someday I might see him at something. I hope when I see him, maybe I can hug him and hold him until he forgives me, or maybe I can make it up to him. I was like, maybe Bobby, maybe you could tattoo something on me, and that way we can be friends. Whatever I got to do.
This whole thing has gotten out of control though, because there's love between
I love
us, Bobby, and
he doesn't
Kalyla.
love me, and he doesn't, and I get it. I fucking hurt him. And
I just think it was mishandled all the way around. It's gotten to the point where we have to address it, which, me, I don't like addressing this stuff. The world to me is too positive.
Yeah, but sometimes you have to tell the truth. And
let me just say, I think that's one thing that obviously the like Fighter and the Kid fans, I think, never appreciated was that Brendan Schaub never kind of acknowledged anything outside of him just trying to do comedy. So I don't know, I feel like this right here, this podcast is definitely gonna be well received, at least because they're being open about something, and they're taking accountability. Well, Bryan is, and Brendan too, he's taking accountability right now. So yeah, I think this will be more appreciated by their fans, just because I feel like that's one of the big quarrels of some of the fans, some of the Fighting Their Kid fans, is that they probably don't feel like they ever acknowledge any, I guess, drama, but so like Bryan just said, sometimes it's not even drama, it's just the truth, because fucking somebody put something out there, and like Andrew Schultz said, if you don't refute it, then it just is what it is, and then it gets too big, and it gets to this, but I think this should just be more appreciated, and fans have received this well, and I think that it is coincidentally crazy that it happened to be their first episode back as just Bryan and Brendan, Fighter and the Kid, and it's like they being a fucking real about all this shit. Definitely good stuff. Definitely good podcast so far. I ain't gonna lie, I haven't finished it. I seen this little clip, I'm like, oh, let me make my little joint real quick. I ain't gonna lie.
When I fuck up, I own it. When I fuck up, I don't have any problem telling the truth, and I don't have any problem, owning up to and facing up to when I am outside myself.
No, and I appreciate that, B. But I also think, and I'm going on Tiger Belly to address it too. It's like, and I think Bobby and Kalyla will also own up, and Kalyla said this because they're.
That should be an interesting podcast. Fucking Brendan Schaub on Tiger Belly, that's gonna get a hell of a lot of views. People tuning into that one.
Emails associated with this, and there's other stuff associated with.
Well,
this
it's an
account.
ongoing investigation.
It's ongoing investigation.
And I will say this, guys. I will say this too, and this is what I heard from what I can only accept as a reliable source. I'm not a tech guy. I don't do this stuff. I don't know anything about this. Yeah. But what I heard reliably from what I believe is a reliable source is, since we have confronted them, and I'm not saying that Bobby or Kalyla know anything about this or have anything. I truly believe they don't have anything to do with it. But
somebody on their team does.
Well, the harassment, the posts stopped
from that account,
and that account got changed, and that's going to be brought up on Tiger Belly. Yep. Okay, and we're just being honest. This drama, I'm way too old to deal with it, but I fucked up, and so once again.
So look, there you go. They said that once this everything came out and all of this, the Reddit shit stopped and yeah, Bryan is basically alluding that somebody in the Tiger Belly camp has something to do with this, and he's saying that Brendan's gonna bring this up. And I want, I was thinking if Bryan's gonna be on that podcast too, but I'm sure Bobby said, "Nah, bro, you can't. You know, he ain't doing that yet." But fucking yeah, that's crazy. You know, Bryan Callen is definitely convinced that it's coming from the Tiger Belly camp somehow, you know, one of the accounts at least. And like I went on the fucking Tiger and the Kid subreddit for like the first time, you know, how like 2 weeks ago, a week ago. Whenever I made that video about the David Ortiz joke, the Brendan Schaub and Kenan Thompson joke, whenever I made that video, I went on the Reddit. I'm like, fuck it, let me try to post the little video link, see if I get some views on the shit. And I couldn't figure out how to use that shit. I ain't gonna lie. I was fucking posting my video, comment. I made an account. I was posting my video, boom, 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 and every fucking post, I got like a little notification said your shit been deleted. Your post has been deleted because you're too new of a user. So I'm like, what? Do I gotta? I don't know. I couldn't. I found the little join thing in the top, and I posted, and then I couldn't find out how to post. And then I'm like, okay, so you joined, but once I joined, I couldn't figure out how to comment again. So I never fucking dove too deep into the Fighting the Kid subreddit. You know, I just watched the podcast. You know, I enjoy the podcast. You know, I fuck with Brendan Schaub and shit. I fuck with Bryan Callen, and you know, I made a couple videos about this whole little fucking back and forth between the Trash Tuesdays and Brendan Schaub and shit. But I don't got nothing against Brendan Schaub and fucking. Yeah, I didn't know that there was like this fucking illegal subreddit against him or some shit. I went in the regular Reddit and it was pretty, you know, people just talking shit. I guess everybody was just talking shit, basically. It was everybody talking shit, you know, with meme posts and shit. But I was trying to, you know, post my shit, get some, you know, maybe somebody get some subscribers or something. But, you know, that shit wasn't, like Bobby Lee said on the H3 podcast, I don't know how the fuck Reddit works. You know, it looks simple. You go on, it says comment, but this shit deleted all my comments. And then also on the H3 podcast, fucking Ethan Klein was talking about, and I'm sure that Brendan Schaub, you know, he paid somebody professional to do this, but Ethan Klein was talking about, oh, you know, if they talk about they trace some IP addresses, they got to be lying because that's pretty impossible. But it's not. I'm sure if you pay the right person, you know, you could probably find some information out, you know, through the IP address, at least trace it to the fucking general neighborhood or some shit, or fucking the building. Who knows, you know? But Bryan is pretty convinced with this whole investigation and the evidence that's coming from the Tiger Belly camp. So who knows? And we're gonna see what they say on the Tiger Belly episode with Brendan Schaub. That's gonna be pretty interesting.
Here's what I have to say. I'm the guy. Director hated me. I take full responsibility. Bobby, I love you. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I was 100% wrong. You didn't deserve that. I should have given you the benefit of the doubt. I should have spoken to you first. How the fuck did I think a guy as sweet as you, as special as you, as giving as you, as funny as you, would ever do something like that? How would I think that? I got fucking deranged. I was listening, and I didn't do my due diligence. I didn't. Which is
unlike you.
It's unlike me.
But also you.
But I was so traumatized about Brendan. I was so fucking traumatized
because I've never told you about it.
But then I saw it. I got scared.
It's awful.
I got scared, dude. And when I get scared, I fight.
I know you do.
You know, I don't fucking back down. I'm gonna fight.
But here's the way
you got to be careful about how you fight.
Agree. But here's the way this thing ends: is there's obviously love between us and Tiger Belly, and I'm going to go in there and say my truth, and they're going to say how we hurt them, and that's fine, and hopefully we can squash all of it. And even Kalyla goes, all right, well, if we find out who it is, what do you want us to do? And this goes for anybody out there. I told Kalyla and Bobby, I just want to stop. I want nothing else. There's no legal action. There's no threats. There's no.
I never would
I just
have.
want to
Yeah,
stop.
I will have to say this too. I have to say this. I in the midst of my anger and my hurt and the way I was speaking, and I know Bobby feels differently because of the way I spoke. I would never, ever do anything to him ever in a million fucking years. Never. Not physically and not career-wise or anything.
Neither
Never.
one. No.
But it doesn't matter, man, because I got to own what the fuck I did and how roughly I spoke. Don't remember all the details, but I was mad and I was upset and I was protecting my friend.
Yep.
This is a teaching moment for anybody younger. Listen, take a minute when you're really upset, when you feel like you're justified, when you feel like you're being attacked. Take a fucking minute. Think. I'm way too old to have behaved the way I did.
I'd say take longer than a minute.
Take longer than a minute.
I think
and give your friends the benefit of the doubt, especially someone as wonderful as Bobby.
Yeah, sweet as Bobby.
And I hope someday I can mend that friendship, but I don't deserve it right now.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about it to Bobby today, and just hopefully I can be the guy that connects you guys and get you guys back together.
Yeah.
But I also think too is through all this, I think I've obviously made mistakes too the way I handled it with Kalyla. It's really not Bobby. It's more me and a Kalyla thing. And what I learned, I don't know her that well, but even though I don't know her, is I should went directly to her.
Yes.
Instead of going anywhere else.
This wasn't you saying getting your bitch in line though. This was not that was how it was how it was characterized. No, this had nothing to do with, for me, it had nothing to do with Kalyla. It had nothing to do with this had to do with seeing that long-term harassment. According to these sources, said it's coming. One of the main sources is coming from there, and I went, "What?"
But I want our fans to realize how toxic that group is.
Well, they know.
They're radicalized.
Hey guys, if you have any doubts, go look at it.
Yeah, they're radicalized, but then also
go look at it.
The reason that account got flagged in the first place for it to get to me, a guy who ignores it, because it hurts my feelings, not because I'm better than social media or Reddit groups. The reason it got notified is because there's a video of this man beating his son who is 6 years old with autism. That's when it crossed. That's what you're dealing with.
That's when you realize who some of these people are. Some, not all, some.
A majority of them. And then the main 5 to 6 counts that are doing a lot of this harassment, over the top criminal activity, they look in their background. It's an ongoing investigation. There's pedophiles. There's horrible stuff in there, man. Right.
So this is
not something you want to
be very general about that, because I don't.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I just want you to realize that this goes you want to criticize my comedy, my stand-up, my fight picks, the way you and I engage. Yeah. Have at it.
His fight picks, he be out there losing people money. That's too much. I don't be betting on sports because I don't fucking be watching, sports to bet on this shit. But it's funny that he apologized, and I apologize, but he like, hey, it's okay to call me out my bad picks. It's like, no shit, nigga, we losing money on them things.
Man,
sure. And there is stuff to criticize there. We're going to make this podcast better.
That's the world we live in.
I've been too protective of this guy. He does interrupt. He does fucking, talk down sometimes. He does behave in an arrogant way, which is the defense mechanism for him. It just is. But we're going to get back to shit, man. We're going to, I said to him, I go, we got to get back to getting you and I having conversations that go beyond ourselves.
Correct.
Fucking picking up on fucking rhythms.
And what a good time to do it, B. What a good time to do it, because, Chappelle went off on his own. He's building his podcast and he's headlining his own shows. Yeah. And so now it's just us, Bubba. Yeah. It's back to the original crew.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited for it. You see the new thumbnail. We have a new intro coming. So there couldn't be better timing. Dude, can I get better as a podcast, even though I've been doing this 10 years and I have my 10,000 hours? 100%. Do I make mistakes? Are you kidding me?
You can get better.
I make all the mistakes.
And stand up. But he said to me everything. with the special, he called me and he goes, I just all I wanted to do was just show myself and the people close to me that I've gotten better, that I've been working at this. It's so fucking hard. Stand up is hard.
It's the hardest job in the world.
It's so hard.
It's the hardest job in the world, but B, to do a special and do it on your own and rely on your team, and then we have to deal with all the marketing and all that stuff with it. Yeah. Like, I didn't realize what an animal it is. It was such a beast.
It's all one continuous mistake, and so is life. I made a mistake. I will pay for that, and I will do everything I can to make it up to somebody I love named Bobby Lee. And I've only met Kalyla once, but she didn't deserve that shit either. So She seems like a great person. From what I could tell, she seems like a very fair, good person.
Bro,
So,
and I'm going to tell her this to her in her face. I told her this on the phone. Dude, you want to talk about a smart, educated, like I told her, like we got done, but we said some things we both probably didn't mean. Then we finally got through that and really had some growth. And I told her, I went, man, I know you do this podcast thing, you're crushing. If you ever wanted to be a lawyer, you would crush it. I'm savage.
Yeah.
Savage.
Yeah, and so
in a good way.
Yeah,
Savage in a good way.
And I hope I can get some. Anyway, that's all I have to say. I own it. And I take responsibility.
This other thing, and let's move on after this, and hopefully I can go on Tiger Belly and we squash all this. Because what I don't like to do is the clickbaity drama. I don't like that. It doesn't make me feel. That's not what I want to do.
Well, especially
I'd rather have
people that
I'd rather have 50 views than a million and deal with this negativity all the time. It's not what I do.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
It's not what we do. It's not what I do.
Let me button this up. We're gonna put this to bed right now. We got other stuff to cover. We got this is a big podcast.
But that's basically that, freaking a long apology, well, I guess well deserved, Bryan Callen felt pretty bad about what he did, how he came at Bobby Lee and shit, but, apparently Brendan Schaub is gonna go on a Tiger Belly podcast and talk it out with them. That's gonna be pretty interesting. And what I really want to know is, because Bryan seems really convinced with this whole things got traced back to the Tiger Belly studio. So who do you tell me in the comments below? Do you think George? Maybe George from the fucking Tiger Belly, or the Filipino dude? Who could have done it? Who could have done it? I forgot. They got some other. They got another person in there. I forgot the name. Another white dude in there. But it's crazy. It's crazy because fucking, Bobby Lee was talking about, one of Brendan Schaub's friends. I ain't gonna lie. I was assuming it was Bryan Callen because Bryan Callen is always a firecracker. They always talk about how he's like that. He's always on some fiery shit. But fucking then you go and it comes out, it was Bryan Callen. Where does it come out? Bryan Callen admits to it, owns up to it, fucking apologizes, says that he's wrong, but he still believes, though. He knows Bobby Lee, which is kind of like almost obvious. Like, he knows Bobby Lee doesn't have nothing to do with that Reddit. He knows Kalyla. He believes that Bobby doesn't have nothing to do with it. He believes that Kalyla doesn't have nothing to do with it, which seems true. Who knows? Seems true, though. And fucking, but somebody at Tiger Belly does, or somebody close to them, or somehow, some way, some hackers like fucking, bouncing his shit off for theirs, and they stopped because now he said now that all of this came out, the subreddit, that account went inactive. They changed the account or some shit. The account's no more, whatever, So it's pretty interesting, I want to see where that subreddit stuff goes. Like, shit, like I said, I've never been there, and I ain't gonna go on it now. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't trying to see fucking kids get beat, autistic kids get beat, and all the fucking dirty shit they got on there. But, I'm gonna definitely stay tuned for that Tiger Belly podcast, with fucking Brendan Schaub, Kalyla, Bobby Lee. And yeah, tell me in the comments below if y'all think fucking somebody in Tiger Belly actually did have something to do with it, or if it's even possible to trace somebody's IP or something to the address. Probably. I don't know. I'm sure you could do that shit because it's been spoken about for so long. Like, they could trace IPs to your fucking exact address. So, and I guess the companies have access to that information. So if you hack, you hack through there somehow. I ain't that proficient with computers, I just know how to fucking like work my laptop, fucking delete a program if I have to, uninstall some shit. But yeah, pretty interesting fucking podcast. I think it's dope that they were so open and so forth, and and I think it's dope that he apologized to Bobby Lee. That leads them to to be open to work in the future, because it is, Bobby Lee has been a guest on the Fighter and the Kid podcast. It has been one of the funniest episodes. It might be one of the most viewed episodes. Honestly, it has one of the most viral clips of Bobby Lee. Oh, Bobby Lee, 'cause I laughed because the clip is so funny. Bobby Lee talk about he's trying to be funny, but he's trying to talk about how when he got molested, and these two keep laughing, but he's trying to make he's like if you watch the clip, he's purposely trying to make him laugh. It was hilarious and shit. So it'll be dope to see Bobby Lee back on there. You know, it's gonna be dope to see Brendan Schaub on the Tiger Belly podcast, because even like Brendan Schaub said, like all this drama and shit. I ain't trying to be even like, you know, I started my YouTube channel and I watched this podcast. I watched Tiger Belly, so it just all happened to fucking fall together. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make some videos, but you know, shit. I'm a fan of both. I would have just been watching both podcasts. Like, I've never commented on fucking I've never commented on, I don't think, no YouTube video. I've probably commented on a YouTube video or two, like saying some shit or asking some shit. I think there was this one YouTuber, he was doing like pranks out there. M to the K, he was doing like some pranks, and I told him some shit like, oh, you should do this. And he that was like one of them. And that's probably one of my only YouTube comments that I remember that's not on my page of me replying to people commenting on my videos. So, you know, I fuck with the fighter in the K. I fuck with Tiger Belly. You know, I was never one of those people hating. I do got a couple videos dissecting Brendan Schaub's joke, but hey, I fucking been a comedy fan before I even knew who Brendan Schaub was. I've been fucking, you know, I was fucking super interested in that whole when Joe Rogan, you know, fucking out him and see for stealing jokes. Like, I was deep into that, but oh, he been stealing jokes. Like, oh man, you know, that's crazy, because I've been a comedy fan. So, you know, when Amy Schumer was coming out for stealing jokes, I was all into that. I like, oh, whose jokes she stole, just to see the original. You know, because let's say boom, you see Amy Schumer with some funny joke, and then you find out she stole it. You're like, all right, let me see who she stole it from. And if you find out theirs is even funnier, it's like, psh, you know, it's crazy. You know, now you find a funnier joke and you know the original shit. So that's how I was looking at it with my whole Brendan Schaub, Kenan Thompson video. But like I said, I'm not trying to spread no hate. I'm just dissecting the art, you know. I ain't never commented nothing bad about these people on their page. You know, I watch their fucking podcast because I enjoy the shit, you know. And I ain't gonna lie, I did enjoy. I always enjoyed it more when there was Bryan. I was gonna say Bryan and Callen. When it was Bryan Callen and Brendan Schaub, you know, when it was fucking Fighter and the Kids with a Z, with fucking Roly Boy in there. It was a little funny. It was Roly Boy, fucking, I forgot his real name. Whatever, but Roly Boy, Brendan Schaub, and fucking Chappelle. That shit was funny. And then, you know, when they had Bryan Callen and Brendan and Chappelle, it was like an off balance a little bit. I just feel like, yeah, it was just an off balance. I feel like, yeah, Chappelle was like just waiting to say shit, and I fuck with Chappelle. You know, I like his comedy. I seen like a 10-minute clip or something like that, and it was pretty dope. So, you know, I ain't trying to spread no hate from this side. People that watching my shit, you know, I hope y'all ain't trying to fucking, you know, expect no fucking hateful shit from here. You know, I'll just be dissecting the art. And honestly, these people are videoing podcasts. That's just kind of an art, so I'll dissect this shit too. But, you know, I'm not trying to spread no hate. Anyways, you know, thank you for watching the video. If you like my videos, you like my questions, my breakdowns, you like, you know, you like, if you watch any of my past reactions, you like my reactions, just, you know, subscribe, recommend some videos you want to see me react to, and yeah, let me know in the comments below if you think the Tiger Belly crew has anything to do with this. Aside from Bobby and Kalyla, does the Tiger Belly crew have anything to do with this Brendan Schaub hate campaign for the past 6 years? Do y'all think it's possible? Let me know in comments below, and I'll see you next time. Peace.